The Ford Escort was a formidable success and is still sought after as a hobby and vintage car. Good looks and simple mechanics are not the whole explanation to the success. I also believe that Ford's investment in motorsport helped to create a good image. Escort appealed both to the feminine and beautiful as well as the tough and sporty. One of the great achievements that would forever mark Ford fanatics was the 1970 World Cup Rally. It was won by Hannu Mikkola and Gunnar Palm with a tuned Escort 1600. It gave the idea for the legendary Escort Mexico model, one of the most attractive Mk1 Escorts. So simple, so stylish. The all-new Escort was introduced in 1967 for the 1968 model year. It was built in the same way as the Ford Cortina Mk2, that is, a McPherson setup in front, leaf springs and rigid rear axle, Kent cross-flow overhead valve engines, rear-wheel drive, and a rack and pinion steering, which the Cortina Mk2 did not have. Everything was simple, worked well and was cheap to produce, in the good Ford spirit. What makes the first Escort special, in my opinion, is the great design with Coke bottle shapes along the sides and where the headlights and grille were shaped like a meat bone. The engines in the Escort Mk1 were the so-called Kent crossflow. They were also used in the Ford Cortina and later the Ford Fiesta. The standard engines were 1100, 1300 and 1300 GT. The Escort Mexico got 1600 engines. The Escort Mexico was produced by Ford AVO, Advanced Vehicle Operations, in England together with the special cars RS 1600 and RS 2000. It was not the Escort Mexico and the RS 1600 or RS 2000 that dominated the traffic scene in the early 70s. There were rather ordinary Escorts with 1100 and 1300 engines. Cars that were driven until there was nothing left, literally. Among today's Mk1 Escorts, it may seem that the Mexico and the RS 2000 are the only ones still in operation. If you take a closer look at the cars, you may find that they started life as ordinary, standard cars, like Auntie's old Escort 1100 Deluxe, converted to the supercars of yesteryear.